Alrighty, hello. We got a article out of Breitbart, a mostly ideal website. The title is California inmate accused of torturing and beheading cellmate. Very interesting. We got some stuff to talk about here. Excuse me. California, of course, it's California, but who cares? A California inmate now stands accused of torturing and beheading his cellmate, according to reports. Accused, not convicted, not proven guilty, so he gets the presumption of innocence. Excuse me. Convicted murderer. Oh, so he's already been convicted, just not in this case. He's been convicted, and that's how he's in there to begin with, of murder. So that's a pretty bad sign, and we should talk about that in just a moment. Convicted murderer Jamie Osuna, if you hear a zombie apocalypse, just ignore it, has been accused of the brutal torture and death of his cellmate at Corcoran State Prison in the Fresno suburb of Corcoran, California. Hopefully we pronounced that correctly, but the man was killed in the early morning of March 9 and died of blood loss from multiple sharp force trauma injuries, charging documents state. All right, so he's already been convicted of murder. Okay, so we got two scenarios we can choose for society. Example, an individual like him who commits murder. Back, 80, 100 years ago, the death penalty, public execution, kind of ended off. And I think that was a big mistake. So we got two options for these kind of individuals. I get that some cases are botched, and that's very horrible and sad and unfortunate. But the overall, what ought to be the case, what benefits society more, Number one, we have someone who murdered someone for whatever reason, who went that far, and possibly they want to murder more people. So on the first case, we force everyone to pay for their housing, their food, and everything else for however long until they get out and possibly do something again. And they possibly go even more bonkers while they're locked up. That's number one. Number two, seems pretty common sense. You have an individual who murders someone, possibly wants to murder someone again, and instead of forcing everyone to pay for that individual, food, housing, you name it, clothes, entertainment, all the guards, security, everything, water. Instead of forcing everyone to pay for that, how about we go back 80, 100 years back to public executions of these type of individuals? What you would have is people who would see the result, the punishment in public, the result of what they did, the punishment. So then people would apply it to themselves. Oh, if I do this, then this is going to happen, so I'm going to refrain. The flip side of that is if you don't have that kind of a policy stance, if they think, oh, have the perception, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to be housed and fed for however long and I'll get out, possibly. So I think this kind of stuff could be easily fixed, and society could do worlds better if we brought back public executions for certain things. It would be common sense, and obviously the time frames for certain things are kind of messed up as well. Let's say a murderer versus a candy bar or something. It's just ridiculous. Something like that should not have to destroy someone's life. So the time frames of certain things need to be ironed out as well. So anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I will see you up ahead. Let me know your thoughts, and please subscribe. As always, take care cool. I'll see you up ahead.